Hey, this is Ashley from Center Stage. We know you ain't gonna pay for it, so please click the subscribe button below and watch some of the ads that we have on our videos to help us bring you more tips and tricks for ukulele, bass, and guitar. That's the only way we can keep bringing this stuff to you. So check out this video, and on the next one, please watch the ad, click and subscribe, and then we'll see you next time. In this lesson, we're going to learn an old ragtime tune, old jazz tune, called Hello Dolly by Louis Armstrong, or he wrote the lyrics at least. And this is a ragtime jazz kind of style. And so this might be new to some people. This is an old form of ukulele playing, where the ukulele was used in sort of this little ragtime street band kind of vibe, and was played on the record. It was used on the record for Hello Dolly, the original version, the Louis Armstrong original version. So now, there's a lot of chords in this track, so or in this tune, and a lot of jazz chords. So this is going to be much more complicated than just a simple, C, F, G. But it is in the key of C, so it's about as easy as we can make it as far as a tune of this style. So get ready for a lot of chords, but as much of a challenge as this might be for somebody, this is a real great tone and a great use of the ukulele, that little choppy sort of comp sound that they use in ragtime. So I was just playing the intro there. So it has that sort of very choppy sound where you're just cutting off the strings. It's much more about being very percussive with the uke as opposed to letting it sustain. That's part of the style. So to begin with, let's take a look at these chords. This is a D minor 7 add 9. Again, these chords are going to be complicated, so bear with me. This is the 9 on top. You're basically barring across here at the 5th fret. Putting whatever finger of your choice on the 7th fret of the A string, like that, if you can see that. Then the next chord is a G7 chord played up here like this, which basically you're going to be fretting here and here and barring. So you might find different finger combinations are easier for you. Here, I'm trying to get my finger out of the way so you can see what's going on here. So I'm using my pinky and my ring finger and leaving my middle finger sort of out of the way there. Back and forth between those two chords. So on the chord chart, if you notice, there's a 4th fret marker in the chord diagram showing you that you're up high like this. Okay. So that's the first, 6 bars of the intro is that. And also on the chart, we have 8th notes now equal a swing type of feel instead of straight 8th notes, dat, 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 dat. You're going to swing them, dat, 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 dat. So. So let's take a look at that next little section of chords. Now this is 4 chords quickly in a row. What this is commonly called is the turnaround. It's like where you set up to get ready for the verse or the beginning of the song. We have a C chord, just like that. Then we have this, it's a E flat diminished chord, really, is what we're trying to get on the uke. We only can play the 4 notes, so it doesn't quite get a full diminished, but it's diminished. So there's your E flat diminished. So got my pinky just like the C, but I got my ring finger there, and then middle and first. So it's really, you're fretting the whole thing. Then this change is a little bit tricky because you're going to a D minor 7. You're keeping the pinky up there, but you got to change the other 3 fingers. See, there's pinky, there's the D minor, add 7th. And then we go to a G 7th. And this is probably the hardest thing to play in the chart. Like that. And also, if you notice, I'm muting the strings to get that choppy sound. So between muting the strings to get the choppy sound and moving them around to get all these complicated chords, that's what makes this more of a challenging thing to play. Okay, so now that's the intro. Those turnaround chords, the last 4 chords, what I just played there, that's going to come up later again. Whenever we sort of get to an end of a phrase, there'll be the turnaround chords. So once you've learned it, you'll get to use it again in the song. Okay, so a lot of songs have, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, this type of form. An older traditional song like this, ragtime, jazz, a lot of times use what's called an A-B format. There's just an A section and a B section. And they're often very similar, but they might have a couple of chords that are different. So it's really just one A section, then we play the B section, back and forth. That's the way the song goes. And people can play solos over the form and improvise and all that sort of stuff, and that's part of what jazz is all about. So I'm going to teach you both the A and the B section. So, okay. The A section. Now, I'm just writing quarter notes down for all of the chords here, because basically the ukulele is just marking time. So I don't have a lot of complicated rhythms in here because you're sort of keeping the beat and the harmony at the same time. So in other words, you could sing the song with just a ukulele because the ukulele is keeping time and also playing the harmony. So minus the turnarounds, there's really no fancy rhythms in the chart at all. So that's why I don't have any strumming marks or anything like that, because it's just marking time. So we start off with a C. And we're doing 2 bars of the C. That's what the little, looks like a percentage sign means. We're just repeating the bar. Second bar. Then we're going to an A minor. 2 bars of that. Then back to the C. The E flat, diminished 7th. And then the D minor 7. Same chords as were used in the turnaround. Now, on the second line here of the A section, we go back to the D minor 7. I'm sorry. Staying on the D minor 7 for 2 bars. And then we're going to a B flat. And I must explain that I've put a B flat in the chart. It's really an augmented chord, but because we cannot get all the notes on the ukulele to make it an augmented chord, this is the closest approximation we can get. It's a tricky, it has too many rubby notes in it to make sense on a uke, so we're just using the B flat. It's a substitution. I know this is complicated, but that's why it's B flat. So just play B flat, it'll be fine. Then we go back to the D minor 7, to a G7, and then we're going to do the turnaround. Okay, so that's the whole A section. All right, let's take a look at the B section. The B section is very similar. We start off the same way. We've got the C chord for 2 bars. Then we go to the A minor chord for 2 bars. But then this is where things change. We go to a G minor 7, sorry. 1 bar. Here's the G minor 7. And you might think it's part of a B flat. It kind of is, but we're leaving the G string open. Sounds a little different. That's a G minor 7. Then we go to a C7, which is a very easy chord. And then we're going to an F. And then an E7. So your E string's open here. So let me play that again, just that part of it before we get to the next chord. We start at the beginning. This is the B section. 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A minor. Then we go to the G minor 7, C7, F, and E dominant 7th. So that's what it sounds like in context. Sorry. Like that. A lot of chords. All right, so after the E7, we're going to an A minor again. Okay? But I'm adding this note up top here. Like that, because it's a good transition between these two chords. We got an A minor and an E minor. I'm keeping that top note here. Back and forth between those two chords. Then we go to a D dominant 7th chord, different chord now. A G7. And guess what? The turnaround. Back to the beginning, the A section. Here, I'm going to get my chart back up here. So taking it from the A section again. And the turnaround. The B section. So once you get comfortable with all the fingerings of these chords, which just takes some time, they're complicated, then you can get into the fun of the swingy part of it, just getting it to sound like it's bouncing. I mean, that's the whole idea of swing, is to feel like a bouncing ball. Get that sort of vibe going on. So, and you know, it's more about getting a good rhythm on the right hand. I mean, that's really the key thing to having a good swing, a good ragtime groove. If you mess up a note here or there, or just kind of mess through it, that's okay. It's better to keep the groove going. So. B flat, that's the weird chord. Now the B section. G minor to C7 to F to the E dominant 7th. A minor to the E minor. Then we got the D7 to the G7 and the turnaround. So, tons of chords. That could be a leap for a lot of people, but this is a great tune to sort of dive into the ragtime side of ukulele playing. A different genre, a lot of chords, but again, once you get used to them, they can start to be fun to play. And you'll recognize a lot of this sort of sound if you're into this. So that was Hello Dolly by Louis Armstrong, or at least he wrote the lyrics. And, we'll see you later with some more ragtime stuff.